Now, all this sounds far-fetched, doesn't it? Certainly, the timing of postal reform, too, is kind of doubtful. As you all know, it took 12 years to get Postal Accountability Enhancement Act passed. But the rest of it need not be so fanciful. Since last-mile delivery is the core business of the Postal Service, NALC must be at the center of any postal innovation agenda. So how can we help kickstart such an agenda? In fact, we already have, in two significant ways. First, in recent months, we have begun informal discussions with major companies, both inside and outside the postal industry, to explore future uses of the postal network. Next month, we're going to meet with executives from Pitney Bowes at the NALC headquarters in Washington, and we're going to explore new ways to use technology to enhance the Postal Service's last-mile delivery network. This fall, we're also going to pursue a proposal from a national retail pharmacy chain to test next-day and same-day delivery of call-in prescription drugs and other goods purchased from local drugstores. Bring me my pills, a bag of chips, and some beer. Thank you very much. Our goal will be to develop a labor management task force with the Postal Service to incubate and test ideas that we've been collecting through our Last Mile project. Now, we have no illusion that we can develop breakthrough ideas for new revenues on our own. Rather, we want to invite businesses, customers, our members to come to us with ideas to explore. There's a world of possibilities for exploiting the Postal Service's unmatched last-mile network. We just have to be flexible and open-minded enough to take advantage of them. Now, in a perfect world, we would have a more than willing partner in the United States Postal Service, willing to explore and experiment out of the box. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have a Postal Service dedicated to cuts in service, not service expansion. There may be, deep in the bowels of L'Enfant Plaza, a group of experimentalists, but I've yet to be able to find them. The Postmaster General gives lip service to innovation and to joint efforts with the NALC to explore innovative expansion. But so far, at least, it has only been lip service. I'm determined to break through the traditional, excessively conservative Postal Service style, but I recognize that we may have to do this around them if we can't do this with them, and we will. Second, in May 2010, the NALC and our sister unions in the United States, we're going to host the World Postal Conference of Uni, Post, and Logistics in Washington, D.C. That event will draw hundreds of representatives from postal unions from all over the world. And in conjunction with the World Conference, NALC and our sister union in Canada, the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, will host a postal innovation workshop with leaders from the advanced countries in Europe, Asia, and the Americas. And this workshop will highlight the most promising service and product innovations that are emerging in our industry all across the globe. It will also focus on how our unions can promote such innovations at the bargaining table while protecting the living standards of our members. And I'm hopeful that we can constructively engage with postal management on an innovative agenda, because our collective futures, brothers and sisters, depend on it. Jen. We're getting near the end. Of this section. At the beginning of this keynote address, many hours ago, I talked about the strength of our union in terms of organization and assets and tradition. So let me close by talking for a few hours a little about the real strength of our union. That is, the members. It's important to acknowledge the contributions of both the active and retired members in the evolution of what a letter carrier is today. Every year, the Poneman Institute does a study to determine which federal agency the American people trust the most. They talk to about 9,000 people, and they list about 75 federal agencies. For the 6th year in a row, 90% of the people surveyed selected the United States Postal Service as the most trusted federal agency. Now, with no offense to our sister unions, do you think they're talking about the clerks? Mail handlers? Rural carriers? How about management? Is that who they trust? They're talking about you. They're talking about the letter carriers, because, brothers and sisters, we are the Postal Service. So why do you think the American people like us? I mean, we do a fine job delivering the mail, but what else have we evolved into? Do you think we're trusted because maybe we do the largest national food drive each year, creating a conduit for people to feed the hungry in their communities? Over 1 billion pounds of food in the last 18 years. Or do you think it's about what we do for MDA? Being the first national sponsor almost 60 years ago, as we work hard to double our efforts, the NALC will be there. We will not stop until we find a cure, plain and simple. Or maybe it has something to do with our Carrier Alert program. As you're growing up, the letter carriers are part of the neighborhood, part of the family. And as you grow into an adult, maybe you move away to another state, taking comfort in knowing that your trusted letter carrier will look in on your elderly parents day to day. Could it be that? Could it be the willingness of letter carriers to participate in the City Readiness Initiative, where letter carriers volunteer to deliver vaccines during national emergencies? Or could it simply be because many Americans around the country For many of them, the letter carrier is the only face they see each day. Now look around, that's scary. But they still look forward to that daily contact. Or maybe it's just because we become part of every community, watching children grow, saving people's lives, putting out fires, stopping crime, protecting property. The list goes on. You read about the unselfish, heroic deeds of your brothers and sisters every month in the Heroes section of the Postal Record. The real strength of our union is the pride that each member feels as we serve our customers in every neighborhood at 150 million addresses nationwide, 6 days a week. We will stand up to protect the future of the Postal Service, because this is our company and we are the Postal Service. Together, we are 300,000 strong, and together, we will succeed. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Let's get to work.